We are in a crisis in this country. So they just look at it as, oh yeah, the Bernie wing and our wing, we agree on most things. It's just how we get there. No, we don't agree on most things. Right. We disagree strongly on policy. And I've always viewed it as policy. When Hillary Clinton fainted and the audience wanted me to give theories on what's wrong with her, I said, I don't know what's wrong with her. I'm good. I don't know what's wrong with her. I'm not a doctor. I wish her well. And I did. You might not like that, but I don't wish anything bad on people I disagree with politically. But the point is, when we let centrist neoliberal people or extreme Republicans create fake terms to distract from the real issue, which is the policies, then we are letting them aid people like Donald Trump.
And frame the debate and, empower people
and by the way,
Donald Trump.
Cenk said it and he's right. It's coming just as bad with Kamala Harris. This is who they've pushed. This is who the Clinton world is now rallying around. It's either her or Andrew Cuomo in New York. I think it's going to be her.
Well, because Andrew Cuomo is seriously, as a straight white man, he's not going to have the narrative that is used to silence legit criticism won't be available for them. So I don't think it'll be him.
Right. And Kamala Harris, listen, I know her record. I don't know her whole record, but I basically know her record. She let a lot of financial crimes go unchallenged, including Steve Mnuchin, the Treasury Secretary, and she just went to the Hamptons to fundraise.
And she donated. She's the only Democratic senator campaign that he donated to.
Right. Mnuchin, so if that makes me a racist or a sexist for pointing out her record, then I'm a racist and a sexist. And if you don't like it, too bad. I'm going to keep pointing out her record and male politicians. Let me tell you something. Tim Kaine, if he was running for president, I'd be on him like butter.
I was on him.
Not in a sexual way. So
unclear. Yes and no.
So the point is, the alt-left is a BS term. Trump is now using it. He was aided by neoliberal hacks who created it to distract from the main issue, which is the exploding progressive movement.
Now, I also think that it's a bit of a challenge, right? Because as you said, we need to stay focused on policy. We also do have to discredit the people who use those terms.
Right.
Or who created those terms. Some people are not cynical and really just are hearing and regurgitating. We do have to, I think, to persuade certain people, we have to discredit these messengers and their message. That also is a question of policy. But in other words, I think that it's not just, we can't just ignore these things. We have to do both. We have to walk and chew gum at the same time. We have to explain why these policies are good. We have to explain that these people are disingenuous messengers. And also, they're related, right? Because again, when you call someone a Bernie bro and you're also blocking things like raising the minimum wage, what you're doing is you are co-opting and hijacking identity politics in order to prevent the policies that empower the people who you're claiming to champion. And that's very cynical and very dangerous.
I just want to close out real quick. I'm going to discredit these people because they shouldn't be in power.
Yeah.
I'm not discrediting Neera Tanden or Joy Reid or Joan Walsh or John Podesta because I don't like them. I'm discrediting them because their ideas are provenly wrong. How many, like when Howard Dean goes on television and says, oh, the whiny left,
I know.
They don't want to win. You haven't won. Your side hasn't won. Your ideas haven't won. The only success neoliberalism has had is Barack Obama twice, and that was masked as progressivism.
And then we got Trump.
Right. He ran on progressive policies. He ran for re-election, railing about income inequality, even though it went up significantly under him. So the point is, we are discrediting you because let me tell you something. If I worked on Hillary Clinton's campaign, I would have shame. I wouldn't go on national television.
Right.
I'd be in the witness protection program. I would be embarrassed. But the point is,
I'd be an analysis.
You have MSNBC and CNN. They have the same people on.
Right. It's an echo chamber.
And by the way, it doesn't make you bad if you were wrong politically, or your strategy was wrong, or you're just a shitty campaign manager. It makes you,
not credible.
You're not credible anymore.
And Jen Palmieri, when she went on Meet the Press after the election, and Chuck Todd asked her what she thought of these rallies, she said, I'm not kidding, she said, you know what, these anti-Trump rallies, she goes, this is not about Fight for 15.
I remember that.
Don't think it's about Fight for 15. This is about solidarity and not shopping at Nordstrom's. And she said it's about identity politics for our side. It was so incoherent because she doesn't even know how to talk about identity politics. And God bless, I mean, to be fair, she and Brian Fallon, I really disagree with them. I just want to mention that they were the thing where people tried to blame Sanders for the murder, the shooting in Virginia, right? Where Scalise was shot. I just want to bring this up. Brian Fallon and Jennifer Palmieri both condemned people doing that. Brian Fallon tweeted something like, yeah, that random guy was a Sanders supporter, and no, Sanders has never condoned or incited violence. And Palmieri retweeted that. And I'm just saying that because there are people out there who are pushing that narrative that he is responsible for this, including Yamiche Alcindor at the New York Times. Not in an op-ed, but in a straight reported piece, okay? And I want you to know that you guys are so partisan pushing that narrative that you are more partisan and critical than Clinton's former speechwriter, what was he? Speechwriter Fallon and comms, director of comms, Palmieri, and spokesman.
He was press secretary.
Press secretary, okay?
So
Anyway.
I keep saying buttoning it up, but this is the end.
This for real.
The bottom line is, if you want to keep attacking progressives as alt-left, you better be prepared for them to attack back. I'm not talking. I'm not talking violent.
No.
But I'm talking
calling them out.
We're done with you.
We're done with you.
We're done with you. Okay.
You're dishonest.
There are progressive candidates running now. Your candidates, like John Ossoff, are losing.
Right.
You're running more milquetoast, neoliberal people.
And you've been exposed by Trump using your talking point, and you've been exposed by your racist, sexist attacks on Nina Turner.
Yeah. And by the way, when MSNBC hosts do interviews yesterday and say, what is the alt-left? Go ask your colleague, Joy Reid, who was pushing it on Twitter. Moving on. And use the hashtag #RealityRescued on Twitter for this. So if you like this, use hashtag #RealityRescued. I want to move on to something else, because I got some grief a few weeks ago. What's his face? Congressman Adam Schiff from California, who has basically been like pushing McCarthyism with this Russia investigation stuff. He was in charge of the House Russia investigation. He put forth a bill to essentially overturn Citizens United. And I criticized him, not because I'm against a bill putting forth for Citizens United, but I didn't find it credible. Because actions speak louder than words. I looked at his donor history, and I saw this guy takes money from all the special interests that he is now derailing. And I also saw that he has basically been fundraising off of the Russia hysteria. So we can't play it for you, but he was on Tucker Carlson a couple weeks ago. I hate to credit Tucker Carlson, but he actually did a good job challenging him. And he was pushing more of this McCarthyism and Red Scare and red baiting, saying to Tucker, because Tucker Carlson rightly said, we don't have any definitive evidence of a Russian hacking and all this. And he was saying, oh, are you on Vladimir's payroll now? Or like, oh, you sure you shouldn't be on RT? This is what he was saying.
So disingenuous. It's such smearing, red baiting.
So I was saying when I was criticizing him, yeah, it's good in theory that somebody is putting forth a bill to overturn Citizens United, but just like Hillary Clinton, you have to look at who it is. Because actions speak louder than words.
But in all fairness, just to challenge that a little bit, I mean, he would say, we are living in a world where because of Citizens United, I have to take donations. But I'm challenging that, right? I mean, that's what people...
But that's not my point. My point was he's doing this right now to raise his national profile because his national profile has gone up with his Russia red baiting, which I'm going to tell you about right now. So, Politico's headline, lawmakers raise cash off Trump-Russia probe. No way. So you're telling me a lot of this Russia hysteria has been so that they could fill their campaign coffers? You don't say. So, Congressman Eric Stilwell's campaign website features ominous photos of President Donald Trump Jr., and Jared Kushner. It warns about Russia's attacks on last year's presidential election and asks visitors to sign a petition demanding that a bipartisan commission investigate. Those who sign are then asked to contribute $5, $10, $25 or more to the California Democrat. Stilwell is one of the junior members of the House Intelligence Committee, which has long had an unspoken rule against engaging in partisan fundraising related to the panel's secretive work. But the panel's high-profile Russia investigation is now putting that rule to the test, and experts are warning that some committee members' recent appeals for campaign cash could undermine everyone's credibility. Quote, if you're trying to fundraise in a way that whips up partisanship, that's going to make the important work of the committee that much harder, if not impossible, said Michael Bahar, who until last May was the panel's Democratic staff director. Fundraising appeals from Intelligence Committee members have so far avoided detailed references to the panel's investigation, but there is undoubtedly a connection. Congressman Adam Schiff, the House panel's top Democrat, last month sent a fundraising request tangentially related to his involvement in the House investigation that is looking into potential collusion between the Trump campaign and Russia. So, my point in bringing this up is not to attack Adam Schiff for putting forth a bill to end Citizens United. Again, on its face, that's great. But the point is, I like Hillary Clinton, people always told me, who cares how she got there, Jordan? She moved over to Bernie's side on a lot of policies. Because I have a brain and I know history. These politicians will say anything to get elected. These politicians, once elected, will sell their to get elected, will sell their firstborn child down the river. That's a biblical reference.
Moses.
Yes. So the bottom line is, a lot of what you have been seeing on TV and the Russia hysteria has been for people like Adam Schiff to raise his national profile, to fundraise. I am putting money down right now. Adam Schiff will be running for president in 2020. Remember, I said it right now.
Well, also the problem is, like, if they did that, if they sold their mothers down the river, Babylon or whatever, to get elected, and then they weren't beholden to these people anymore, that would be one thing. But what we know from history, right, is that your donors dictate your campaigns, and then they dictate your presidency or your senatorial. Oh! Jeez Louise, sorry about that. You see, they're trying to silence me. They got two Bernie bros right here. They're silencing me. No, I was saying that if it were just about being beholden to donors while you're campaigning, and then once you got elected, you were an authentic progressive or beholden to the people, that'd be one thing, but we know that doesn't happen.
Right. And I will respond to, what's his face? Blah, 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 blah. Neoliberals Hernandez. Sean Hannity calls us alt-left, but you guys don't attack him. Instead, Katie takes pictures with him. First of all...
Oh, yeah, who is this? I have a picture taken. Okay, what's his name? Yeah, can I just tell him something?
Neoliberals.
I have Neoliberals. I have a picture taken with Sean Hannity. Do you know who else I have a picture taken with? Andrew Breitbart. Do you know who took that picture of me? Oh, no, I have my mic, sorry. Do you know who took that picture? I'm getting upset. Who took that picture of me? Do you like Amanda Marcotte? No shots fired at Amanda Marcotte. I'm asking you, Neftali, whatever your name is, Neftali. Are you there? Neftali Hernandez, I'm talking to you.
I'm talking to you.
Talking to you, okay? Do you like Amanda Marcotte? Come on, respond. Don't be a little, respond. If you have courage and you have something else, you're going to respond. You're going to ignore me.
Your matzo balls,
which I don't know if they're there because he's not responding. So unclear. Anyway, the phantom matzo balls. That sounds like a Yiddish folktale. The phantom matzo balls. Okay, listen, right? His matzo balls are becoming engorged. Neftali, listen to me. Amanda Marcotte, who is a Hillary person, 100% Hillary, she took that picture of me with Andrew Breitbart. Why do you think that is? Because she gets that it's a funny thing and I'm mocking the right. I know you're trying to smear me. You guys try to smear me as a Nazi appeaser. You try to smear me as a Russian prostitute. You try to smear me as someone who's going to fuck myself with Cenk Uger's dick. And you try to smear me as a, Sean Hannity fan. I've taken my picture with him. Andrew Breitbart, Herman Cain, Giuliani. Listen to this. Ready?
Herman Cain try any funny business?
Yeah, he was very respectful. Giuliani. I have my picture taken with him. Do you know what hat I was wearing at the time? An Obama for president hat. You're pathetic. You're a loser. Don't come at me with your pathetic smears. Man up. Criticize my policy and my positions. You are a child, a man-child. I feel bad for you. You're probably in a corner somewhere, like, doing something gross while watching videos of, like, the Clintons from the 90s. Probably Bill Clinton, maybe while he's playing the saxophone.
But Neftali, before you sign off in hate, share the video. Everybody, share the video.
Yeah, and come at me with policy, bro. Yeah. Come at me.
Come on.
Like, seriously.
Now we...
Sean Hannity. I was covering the RNC.
Yeah, but that's okay. And by the way, Neftali, I guess you missed Emma and I for 25 minutes the day after Trump doubled down attacking Trump and Fox News and the right wing. It's never good enough for people.
No, but I want to thank people for like Neftali, because you guys, thanks to you, we have people like Trump in power, because you discredit any of the people who actually would challenge Donald Trump. So Neftali, mazel tov, felicidades, felicitaciones, whatever. I'm really happy that people like you are around, and thank you for trying to slut shame me as someone who took a picture with Sean Hannity. I'm a little upset, as you can tell.
And by the way, I think people on the neoliberal centrist side don't understand something. The reason progressives took on Hillary Clinton so hard is because we wanted to defeat the Republicans.
Right.
We wanted to defeat Donald Trump, and we knew she was a weak candidate. I knew when she picked Tim Kaine.
The highest unfavorability rankings of anyone. Ben Jealous spoke for her at the DNC. I want to say something. Ben Jealous.
Kelly has responded.
Well, okay.
Wait. What does CNN do?
Breaking
news. Natali said, guys, I'm not attacking anyone.
You're not attacking anyone. You just said, wait, can we read his quote? Can we go back to the videotape as in the Facebook comment? Naftali, you're a wonderful guy. I'll have dinner with you.
He calls us alt-left, but you guys don't attack him. Instead, Katie takes pictures with him.
So, Naftali, was that a point of information? Like you were clarifying why I was getting my picture taken? That wasn't a dig on your part. Oh, okay, then I'm sorry I overreacted. If you just wanted to clarify why I got my picture taken with him, then I'm sorry I did that in a mean way, but at least you now know.
You can't have a double standard, because I worked at Fox News. That's much worse than taking a picture with Sean Hannity. So if you're going to attack her, attack me. I mean, Sean tried to take pictures with me in the bathroom, but I chose not to do that. That's a whole different story. We'll discuss it later.
But what were we? Oh, Ben Jealous, who spoke for. You're going to like this, Naftali. Ben Jealous. I know, I need margarita. Ben Jealous. Can we get some?
Yeah.
Ben Jealous spoke for Hillary at the DNC, and he said during an interview with me, he said, I endorsed Sanders. I was a Sanders surrogate because either way it was a good idea, because either Sanders would become the nominee or because Sanders was going to push Hillary Clinton to become more electable. And now go watch the DNC platform committee meetings, which I did like a big old nerd, and you will see Ben Jealous, Nina Turner, Jim Hightower begging the DNC to strongly condemn TPP, which they didn't, okay? The only thing that Sanders did was, people love saying that he ruined her campaign. First of all, time out. Compare what Hillary Clinton did to Barack Obama and said about Barack Obama to what Sanders did and said about Hillary Clinton, okay? And then tell me about whatever, playing dirty and impugning someone's character. Guys, Hillary Clinton said she had to stay in the race because we all remember what happened to Bobby Kennedy. He was shot and killed.
And they sent out images of Barack Obama
in Kenyan garb.
Kenyan garb.
And then the best thing, though, is that their response was like, what? We like multiculturalism. What's wrong with that? It was Muslim baiting. Hillary Clinton said, well, he wouldn't be my pastor, about Jeremy, what? Oh, there's a picture of me and Sean. Thank you. I should send you my whole album. Naftali, that's for you. Hillary Clinton said about Jeremiah Wright, Reverend Wright, she said, well, he wouldn't be my pastor. Meanwhile, I think that the Clintons brought him in. I'm not kidding. I'm pretty sure they brought him in. I'm like, when he cheated on her, when they were having marital problems.
And Hillary Clinton takes fucking hot sauce out of her bag to try to placate the African American. Give me a fucking break.
Jordan, she's been using hot sauce for 15 years. Someone told me that on Facebook when I put up a meme about that.
Pours it all over Bill when he gets out of line. Whoa!